Hi guys, how you doing? I am Scott Royal Smith, Esquire. I am the attorney for real estate investors. Anything asset protection, business or insurance related, banking, you name it, I take care of it for insurance investors. Today we're going to be talking about tax sheltering. One of the most important things you can be doing is your tax sheltering. The reason why? Because when you can start investing with pre-tax dollars, your returns will skyrocket from it, right? Every great investor knows how to shelter their income. I'm here in Austin, Texas right now, presenting to you from the studio here in our office where I do all of my personal podcasting for the real estate nerds. We do the Real Estate Nerds podcast, which is talking to investors about their best and worst deals and what they did or didn't do that led them there. So if you're looking for a great podcast to plug into, jump onto the Real Estate Nerds. I think you'll really enjoy it, and you'll find the stories that you're living in your life are very similar to the top investors out there. And you can learn from their mistakes, so you don't have to make them. So today, guys, we are going to be talking about tax savings. Tax savings is ultimately the top level of this game. One, you got to find the deals, you got to close on them, you got to make sure the numbers are right, and those got to shake out, right? But the other way you lose money here is to the government. And so good tax strategy should always pay for itself. And we're going to talk about how you can evaluate that and how you can know that you're actually getting a good deal for the tax advice you're getting and the strategies that you're putting in place. All right, let's go ahead and kick it off. So once again, thank you guys for joining us here today. And I'm excited to be here with you because so many of my clients and colleagues are laser focused on the wealth building, especially in real estate. And they're trying to build the wealth ever faster and faster. Whether, my clients and my friends here are already successful or they're just starting to gain traction with just a couple of deals under the belt, I always start by reminding them of that old saying that it's not what you make, it's what you keep. I do this because more often than not, investors, especially real estate investors, get so caught up in making deals that they overlook the foundational elements that make a huge difference to their bottom lines. And on this webinar, I'm going to share with you the powerful tax saving strategies that help you shelter money. And that's going to help you grow your wealth even faster than ever before for you. If that sounds good to you, let's go ahead and dive on in. Now, before I get into it, I see we have some people joining from all over today. So I just want to give a shout out here to all you wonderful people joining us here today we got people from Texas, from Ohio, California, phenomenal. Thanks, guys, for joining us. And just by a quick show of hands, how many of you think you can achieve financial freedom by passively investing? Just hit the hand icon if you think you can do that. Yeah. So that's right. Just about everybody is agreeing that you can create financial freedom by passively investing. And that actually is a trick question. It's possible to earn passive income, but to achieve financial goals, you have to take action around preserving the wealth. And that means that learning what you need to know to implement the strategies that you're learning. So the tax sheltering system I'm about to show you is specifically designed to be quick, easy, and to modify with very low maintenance. Overall, it's a completely painless process. You just need to implement it in order to put it to work. And what people love about this is you can set this tax sheltering strategy up today, and it will very likely pay for itself in year one, leaving you extra profit in the form of tax savings for years and years to come. So with that in mind, what if you could easily earn an extra 30% on your investments by just sheltering the taxes with these techniques? How many of you would be interested in that? That's fantastic. So I think it's one of the most exciting things that I work on. And best of all, this is something you guys have never seen before, something from Royal Legal Solutions that fully capitalizes on the synergies between investing, asset protection, estate planning. And today's focus, tax sheltering. So what we're looking at here, guys, is we're looking at this area right here. How do we set up a shell operating company? You can already see a sneak peek here of what we're going to be talking about today to look at some of this tax sheltering that you can be doing. And this overall here to the right-hand side, this is what we use for our estate planning, and this is how the asset holding company. This diagram, guys, is the gram pumbaa of what we put together for people that protects their assets while they're alive. It passes to their family with avoiding the probate system, so it's protected while it passes to their heirs. And what we're going to be talking about today is this area, which is how do you save on the taxes to be able to maximize your returns over time. Great, guys. So now you may be wondering if you need tax sheltering. And the answer is yes, you do. Every single investor needs tax sheltering because the more you save on taxes, the more money you have to invest. And it's really the most important driver that you have to creating the financial freedom, because it increases the number of dollars that you have that you can funnel into the investments. It's that simple. The number of dollars you have is much more important than the return you get on any one investment. I mean, by all means, you want to continue to seek out the investments that pay the highest returns, right? But you're leaving money on the table if you don't lock in that additional 30% in returns you get from tax sheltering. The way I do this for my clients is by leveraging the two greatest tools available for tax sheltering, the solo 401k and the self-directed IRA. Now, the solo 401k is known by a couple of different names. Some people refer to it as an owners only or one participant plan, but a solo 401k is just a personal 401k that you and your spouse can use to shelter the income from taxes. And the rules regarding business owners are very flexible, guys. So, by the way, it's worth mentioning that at Royal Legal Solutions, we take care of all the setup and compliance for our clients. So it's definitely possible to shelter income without any extra work on your end. We've also been very successful finding ways for our clients to establish legitimate businesses that satisfy the IRS rules, allowing you to take advantage of the solo 401k. This is important because most real estate investors think they can't use a solo 401k due to the fact they only receive rental income, and that's not really the case. That's why it pays to have a good attorney. By simply restructuring your business activities, you can make ineligible income eligible. And that's right. With a solo 401k, you are in the driver's seat. You have total control of your bank accounts, investments, etc. And unlike the self-directed IRA, there is no custodian. There's just never been a better vehicle to maximize your real estate investments using tax sheltered money, which you can combine with loans just like you'd normally do to invest. The solo 401k is the quickest way to get your next property. You can contribute 10 times more to a solo 401k, loan yourself money from your own retirement account, and leverage your real estate investments without incurring unrelated debt, financial income tax, or UDFI. For those of you who have looked extensively into this section, UDFI relates to how do you get penalized for different types of investments that you make. And with the solo 401k, there are strategies you can use to get around that to maximize the amount of money you can make inside of your retirement accounts. So funding for your solo 401k is easy. Typically, people are doing it one of two ways. Either you roll your IRA or 401k from your employer into your self-directed 401k, or second option, you make contributions from your own company from the wages paid to you by your own company. Then with the money in your solo 401k bank account, you cut a check to invest in the real estate. It's nice, right? The contribution limits to the solo 401k are high, and for 2018, some self-employed earners can set aside as much as $61,000 for retirement in a solo 401k, depending upon their age and their compensation. Since there's no custodian, you have the maximum flexibility, control, and the speed to make the investments on your own terms and at the speed you operate. You don't have to wait on anybody else. Plus, you can take deductions on both your business taxes and your personal taxes. And the Roth options are available as well, guys. If you think taxes are going up in the future because we got too much debt in this country, I'd say get on that Roth plan. Are you guys starting to see how keeping more of what you earn will free up investment dollars, enabling you to do more and grow your wealth faster than ever before? Legally sheltering your income from the government is one of the most important steps you can take if your goal is to build lasting wealth and protect your legacy. It really, guys, it really is the number one thing that you can do if you care about your loved ones, you care about your family. Think about building this wealth. Think about passing it on into a way that's really going to take care of them after you're not there to take care of them anymore. Let's get to some of the requirements here, guys. So the requirements that we're looking at for the 401k are very simple. You have to be a sole employee of a new or existing business, and you must maintain the 401k yourself, unless, of course, we do it for you. I'll explain how that works a little later, but now just keep in mind, although you can't hire employees, if you need additional staff, you can hire them through a subsidiary company to avoid, RISA. So the solo 401k is not subject to RISA, so it's very easy to manage. For the clients of Royal Legal Solutions, we provide everything needed to get yourself fully established. I mean, this includes your solo 401k plan documentation, the designated beneficiary forms, the contribution forms, rollover forms, 401k loan forms, and your EIA number from the bank account. We even help you set up the bank account. We have relationships with bankers where you can set up accounts totally online without ever having to step foot in a branch. It's never been easier than it is right now, guys. In addition, every solo 401k has to be attached to a company. We can set up the LLC or S corporation for you, but if you really want to keep it simple, I just recommend using an LLC that's taxed as an S corporation. For real estate investors with passive income, this means you'll create a separate company from your asset holding company. For those of you who have tuned in to my asset holding company and asset protection webinars and lectures before, this is a completely separate company. It's your shell operating company. Tune into those lectures, connect with us on royallegalsolutions.com if you want to learn more about that. So you'll have this completely separate company that you're going to operate all of your active business through. And this separate company will hold, will be the face to the world for you for all of your active business operations. And you'll have a completely separate company that will hold all of your assets. Now, this LLC that where you would typically tax as an S corporation is your property management company if you're a real estate investor. So it has to intend to turn a profit within the next 5 years. Initially, your property management company with you and your spouse as the sole employees, or just you, will be engaged by your asset holding company. This is your LLC, your Series LLC, your Delaware Statutory Trust if you're a California investor. You'll receive income as an employee of your property management company. You'll also avoid self-employment tax because we're going to have you paid as an employee, so you don't get hit with that extra 15.3% of the self-employment tax. The tax reporting itself is actually very simple. There's no tax return to file. It's all considered a disregarded entity. But however, since certain investments are certain investments are subject to UBIT, that's the unrelated business income tax, those would require a 990T tax return. And if you really want to do with your solo 401k and say it exceeds $250,000 in total value, you also have to file a 5500EZ form. Right. Now, all of these things can all be taken care of as part of what we do here in Royal Legal Solutions. So if all of that sounded like a bunch of, tax and legal, gobbledygook to you, don't worry about it. Just give us a call and we'll be able to show you, very easily how we can, manage all of that for you. If you want to manage it yourself, we're happy to provide you with materials to show you how to do that, guys. So your solo 401k assets are not inherently protected like other retirement accounts. As such, we recommend that your solo 401k own its own LLC where it holds money and title to your investments, guys. So that's where this would come in. So you must take distributions from your Roth 401k by the age of 70 and a half. A Roth IRA, on the other hand, has no minimum distributions. So if you don't want to do early withdrawals, just roll over your 401k into your IRA. The point here, guys, is that this is very flexible. Whether you want to take distributions at a certain age or not, you can always switch from one strategy to the other, and we can help you do that so that way it's as easy as possible for you. I know for some of you, this may be starting to sound a little complicated, and trust me, it's not. This is a form of asset protection that Royal Legal Solutions specializes in, and we deal with this stuff day in, day out, year after year. There's absolutely nothing about these advanced protection strategies that phases us, which is probably why so many investors hire us to get it done. By the way, if you have any questions as I'm going through this information, just jot them down. I'll be answering all of your questions at the end of the seminar today. So so let's talk about rolling over existing retirement accounts. Almost every type of retirement account can roll over, including an IRA or 401k with your prior employer. But you would only do a direct rollover to avoid any withholding tax. So that said, there are two very limited restrictions. You cannot roll over a Roth IRA to a Roth 401k, and you cannot roll over your 401k from an existing employer unless you qualify and your plan allows for an in-service withdrawal. Say, for example, that you're 59 and a half years old. You can make traditional or Roth contributions. Your employer can make up to 25% in contributions of the employee's compensation, and you can do a Roth in-plan conversion. And the total contribution amount limit for that participant account is, determined in a number of ways that we can help you look at. So if you're a client of Royal Legal Solutions, we make the contributions to your solo 401k. Some comes from you and some comes from your company. So let me take a quick step back here, because I know I mentioned my company, Royal Legal Solutions, but I'd like you to know a little more about me and where I'm coming from. I'm a longtime real estate investor, entrepreneur, and asset protection attorney. Like many of you, I've worked hard to build my wealth to take care of my loved ones and leave a legacy for my family and my charities. I dreamed of achieving financial freedom since I was in college, and now that I've achieved it for myself, I want to make it easier for others to do the same. And you see, what I realized a while back is that most people only have so much time and energy to devote to do the business side of wealth creation, the nuts and bolts that position you to best grow your asset. What most investors need is a trusted resource to show them how all of the pieces fit together and how their natural synergies between investing and asset protection, estate planning, and tax sheltering really work. And it's by capitalizing on these synergies that a truly meaningful wealth becomes achievable, because, up until now, what I've seen is the same thing you've seen, which is everybody has a piece of the puzzle, but nobody's put it all together. And that's what I've done here with Royal Legal Solutions, is be able to put all of the pieces of the puzzle together so you can have a one-stop shop for all of the most powerful strategies that we've sourced from myself as an investor, as well from over 2,000 clients that we have across the country. So up until now, there was a good reason to avoid putting all the pieces together. And for starters, it would just take a tremendous amount of study to learn about each piece, and talking to different professionals that would often disagree with each other. And really, most professionals just didn't have the time to invest into really learning, a business, and a certain type of business, which only really applies for real estate investors, and what exactly is everything that makes a great real estate investor and that they need for their life. And that's what I've done. So this is why I built Royal Legal Solutions, and I created the Royal Protection System. I'm incredibly proud of this, and by putting it to work for you, all of those concerns that you have can be put to rest for once and for all. My court-tested, proven system provides investors a completely streamlined process that you can complete quickly and never have to maintain, because we do all the work for you. Because I'm an active real estate investor and a practicing asset protection attorney, my insider's grasp of wealth creation and protection is second to none. You'll never have to worry about us doing part of the job and then leaving you to fend for yourself like other guys might. I built my company, Royal Legal Solutions, to be the one-stop shop for real estate investors. My clients are fully positioned and protected to focus on on doing what they do best, and that's identifying profitable transactions and doing deals. There's no stressing over things you meant to go back to do, but you never had time for. It's just that amazing feeling that comes from knowing all the pieces are in place to protect your business and your legacy, and knowing you'll never have to worry about it again. And on that note, let's take a closer look here at the solo 401k. By quick show of hands, how many of you wish your current retirement account was wasn't so restrictive that they limit what you can put your money into? Just let's click on that hand icon. We got a number of people there that, yeah, that's right. It really is the one of the things that can really limit how much you can build is by what you can put your money into. Well, with a solo 401k, you can hold almost anything. You can hold real estate, stocks, precious metals, private companies, except for S corporations, but any other private companies are fine. It's extremely flexible. Now, there are certain prohibited transactions that could trigger taxes and major penalties, and you got to avoid these guys. But however, these penalties can become minor if the transaction is corrected. There are three key prohibited transactions you need to avoid. First, you have to avoid doing business with what's called disqualified persons. And this includes transactions with yourself and your family, or any company in which you or your family owns 50% or more. The second prohibited transaction is loans to your family. You can't do it. The third is any deal where you personally benefit from the investment of your 401k other than your 401k increasing in value. So what you're going to be looking for here, guys, is you can't put money, say, into your own company and say, well, I have Scott Smith Company and my 401k is going to give me $100,000 into my own company that I own, and it's going to own half of it. Can't do that. You also can't, put money and loan it directly to your family. And you also can't, say that, hey, I'm going to put money over here with my 401k into somebody else's company, and then they're going to pay me a $50,000 salary, based off of that investment. That would be you personally benefiting from your 401k. Now, a solo 401k might use leverage to purchase real estate. And that is not subject to UDFI tax like a self-directed IRA. So a solo 401k is much better than a self-directed IRA when you're getting loans to be able to close on those properties. And we have lenders that will loan with your solo 401k. However, all the leverage must be non-recourse to the 401k. That's also going to be true for the self-directed IRA. And you can't personally guarantee the loan. Don't worry about those pieces. We have lenders that are going to be able to lend to you underneath the terms that are going to be appropriate. They're usually at about a 75% loan to value. And you get all access to all those resources by being a member of Royal Legal Solutions. So let me give you an example of how this works. Your solo 401k can loan you personally up to, any dollar amount you want, which is up to 50% of your solo 401k balance. So let's just say that it's $50,000 that's in your solo 401k. You can loan yourself up to 50% of the value of that. So this is kind of like having a tax-free piggy bank, so to speak. And now notice that there's all those other restrictions that we just talked about that are prohibited. But for your solo 401k, this caveat about being able to loan yourself money is allowed. So the loan has to be documented with a balloon payment of 5 years. And you have to make quarterly payments, and the interest rate should be 2% above whatever the prime rate happens to be. You can use the loan for anything you want, but you must pay it back. But notice that once you pay it back, you can also loan money to yourself again and restart the clock. If you never pay it back, it's actually considered a distribution. And just like all retirement plans, distributions come with penalties. And the 401k distributions are subject to tax, so they'd be included in your gross income. Plus, there's a 10% penalty on top of the taxes that you get from your personal income, unless you're 59 and a half, you die or become disabled, or if you're 55 and retired. There's some exceptions there. So, but distributions from a Roth account are not subject to the penalties we just talked about. However, any profits or gains are subject to the taxes I just mentioned, unless it's a qualified distribution. So some of you out there are probably saying, what in the heck is a qualified distribution? And a qualified distribution is one made at 59 and a half, death or disability, and 5 years has passed since the contribution was made or rolled over. So, okay, so let's look at how the solo 401k pairs with the self-directed IRA. So the self-directed IRA and solo 401k work for different situations. Generally, a solo 401k is preferable for most real estate investors we work with. The three main differences with the solo 401k are you have to be a business owner, you get higher contribution limits, and there's no custodian required, so you won't have to pay that annual fee. The thing to keep in mind is that depending on your situation, either of these strategies can make a huge difference to your success as a real estate investor. For example, you're going to want to look at, how much can you contribute? What is going to be the difference for you, and being able to have higher contribution limits, and whether it's something that you want to control yourself or do you want somebody to be controlling it for you. I think that we have the best opportunities to make money when we're controlling things ourselves. My clients that use solo 401k have a lot more flexibility with their money. What they can do is channel the income from how they're typically getting it, whatever way that's going to happen for their non 9-to-5 job. They channel it through their own company and put it into their solo 401k. Then they're going to be using those tax-free funds to either grow their wealth over time and get that 30% plus return per year by using pre-tax dollars. And if they ever run into the situation that they need the money, they just loan that up to 50% of their solo 401k back to themselves. So you get this cool synergistic type effect where I'm making more money and I can loan it to myself after I make it. So you might be wondering about why you haven't heard about the solo 401k or the self-directed IRA before. And it's with so many financial products and strategies out there, it's easy to miss on the key opportunities you need, especially when these opportunities are really just the most powerful ones for a very small segment of the populace that are real estate investors. So uncovering these vehicles takes a tremendous amount of time and research. And ultimately, the information you receive is only good as the people that can provide it, and really a lot of those people that have the information really can't take care of all the nuts and bolts of what you need to be doing from start to finish and advise you along the way, like we can, because we're attorneys and we're able to take care of all aspects of that. So in all honesty, there are a lot of professional drivers out there that have their attention focused elsewhere. And they're just really not even aware that these opportunities even exist. So like I said, that Royal Legal Solution is in the business of fully capitalizing on the synergies between investing, asset protection, estate planning, and tax sheltering. We live for this kind of stuff and are always looking for the edge of what investors can be doing to create the best lives they can by increasing their returns. And remember, with tax sheltering, we're talking about a completely different legal strategy for earning that 30% plus on your investments. So the solo 401k and self-directed IRA are specifically designed to be quick, easy to modify, and very low maintenance. The process of setting it up is completely painless. You just need to put it in place so it can work for you. Now, with a quick show of hands, how many of you are comfortable leaving 30% of your hard-earned dollars on the table? Yeah, that's not that many. And how many of you think you have a better plan for your money than the politicians in Washington do? Exactly. That's why tax sheltering is a no-brainer for any serious investor. And that's why the solo 401k and self-directed IRA are two of the best options available for people that are like us, real estate investors. So the solo 401k and self-directed IRA from Real Legal Solutions, you get all the tax advantages that I outlined earlier. And regardless of which solution works best for you in your situation, you'll save money on taxes, which you can use to grow your real estate portfolio. And then best of all, you get 100% legal way to make ineligible income eligible so you can grow it faster by using these types of strategies. So the advantage here is it's easier access to your investment dollars. You get the maximum flexibility, you get higher contribution limits, you get less money that's being lost to the taxes. So this way you can really make sure that what you're going to be earning with your investments really stays in your pocket and stays out of the government's hands. You get the financial freedom that we've been talking about, this acceleration of wealth that you can do by having an extra 30% returns, onto your investments by investing with pre-tax dollars. You literally just have more dollars, and that's the fundamental driver of how much money you can make. You get this financial control by being able to control your own investments and cutting checks yourself. So you don't have to rely on somebody else that's going to be managing this for you. You can do that yourself, and you get the peace of mind of knowing that if you get hit with a cash flow crunch, you have this tax-free bank account that you can essentially loan your money to yourself to be able to use in the way that is going to work for you. So right now, what I'd like you all to do is go to the royallegalsolutions.com/SOLO. So it's royallegalsolutions.com/solo. You're going to see some great promotions that we have on there to be able to offer to you guys. I mean, it's going to be, we have great pricing for you. It's the most competitive in the industry. We're going to be able to set you guys up here same day. We're going to be able to start the process of getting all the documentation together. It's a very painless process. Usually takes us less than an hour or two of total time. A lot of that is on our end and processing the paperwork. Just basic information is all that's needed to be able to get that process started. So what you can do is schedule 100% risk-free consultation today, and you can put that power of the tax sheltering to work on your behalf. And that consultation, guys, is where we're going to be walking through, every aspect of your financial reality as it exists today. What does it look like here in the next 2 to 5 years? And what are the pieces that you're going to need to put in place to be able to achieve the goals that you're looking for? And that's going to come straight from us being experienced in this industry, helping thousands of people across the country on all these different aspects, from asset protection to the estate planning to the tax savings with the solo 401k today. You can learn about during that consultation, not just the tax savings, but all of these aspects. Make a decision on what makes sense for you. You don't have to do any of these things all at one time. They're all building blocks to financial freedom. And working with us, we can stack each building block together without ever having to go back and redo or revamp any of the work there. So this consultation, guys, is extremely high in value. It's $150. It saves you on your taxes. It saves you on legal fees. And it puts you in your new property faster because you're going to have more money to be able to get into that next deal. So you can start paying down those notes and generating that passive income that's going to be able to create that financial freedom for you. Guys, $150 here gives you the roadmap of everything that you're going to need to put in place, that what are the elite investors putting in place, and you're going to get in warp speed of where you're at today to where do you need to be able to be in the top 1% of investors. We lay it all out there for you and explain every single piece of it to you, so you can see how these strategies directly relate to your plan for how you're going to grow your wealth. So with that, guys, in that consultation, we're also going to cover with you the ironclad tax sheltering and asset protection with the unlimited support that's offered by my staff. Every single client and member of Royal Legal Solutions that comes in our door, you get unlimited support from us. You're never going to be in a position again after working with us of saying, I wonder what I should be doing, or I wonder if this is maintained correctly, or did I remember to file that document that needed to happen? No, never again. We take care of all of the yearly compliance for you for any of the legal work that we do for you. We are also the trusted advisor for you. So if you have any questions at any time about your tax sheltering, your estate plan, your asset protection, any of the work that you did with us, you get unlimited support for life. So if you ever have questions, we have the answers for you. We're the trusted professionals that know your business, that know real estate investing. And that's the way I've trained my staff. And that's the way that we treat every single customer, as we're here to help you and be that trusted source for you. We don't make any money off of being able to be here as a support service for you. We make our money by helping more people. So we have the structures in place to make sure that you know everything you're going to need to know to be able to make that next decision and be confident in it. Thank you guys so much for joining me here today. If you guys text Royal, that's ROYAL, to 474747, you guys are going to get the top 10 things investors need to know to protect their assets. We also have options in there for ebooks and other resources that are about the solo 401k and the self-directed IRA, estate planning, and all the different services that we offer. Our website, we have is chock full of high quality blog posts that I've written specifically with the viewpoint of just offering the highest possible information that I can for you guys as real estate investors. And we do a ton on Bigger Pockets. See, I'm very well known in that community for a number of years. We've helped out hundreds and hundreds, if not over 1,000 Bigger Pockets members, helping them build their real estate portfolio. We currently help about 2,000 clients across the country, and that number's growing more every single day. We protect around $1.3 billion in assets, and we believe that we've saved our clients about $20 million from lawsuits over the course of the last 5 years since Royal Legal Solutions has since the inception of Royal Legal Solutions. So I appreciate you guys coming on here and joining me here today. Of course, jump over to the website, the royallegalsolutions.com/solo. That's this number that you see here at the very bottom to be able to jump in and grab that consultation, guys. It's a super high value consultation. If for any reason that you don't like it, or you just don't think that the information was valuable, I'm happy to give you your money back. I'm not in the business of trying to make $150 off of anybody. What we do is we ask for that commitment from you to ensure that you take this as seriously as we do. We're limited to how many people we can help, right? So one thing that we do is we charge for the consultation, even though it's probably worth, $500 to $1,000 easily. But just to make sure that everybody that we, commit the time to sit down to prepare the presentation and to really work through all of the details of what they're going to do, is that they're approaching that as seriously as we do with the kind of help that we're giving, guys. If you guys want some great materials, I would go ahead and text this Royal to 474747. That's going to be a great way to be able to just get yourself inside some of those free ebooks and other resources. You can always email me here. This is Scott@royallegalsolutions.com. That's going to be emailed directly to me. I'm happy to answer any of your questions about anything we cover today or anything that we do. Feel free to reach out. If you want to talk to somebody live, this is the phone number for it, guys, the 512-757-3994. I will be able to help you guys out with a whole lot of great information just from that phone call. There's no charge just to call us up, ask us about what do we do and whether it's appropriate for somebody in your situation. That's fine. We're happy to talk with you about that as if this is a route that you should be considering right now. What I know is that we help investors that have, 50 plus, 500 plus properties in some cases, all the way down to investors say, hey, I don't have any properties right now, but I'm serious about my growth. And I know that I want to be acquiring, 10 properties in the next 2 years. How can you help me do that? And what we do is we set up the foundations from the asset protection to the business operations, to the banking, to the insurance, to the tax saving strategies that we looked at today, that sets all of the building blocks for that wealth for you from now and into the future. So thank you guys for showing up here today and sharing some time with me. I know we're all very busy, and I look forward to connecting with each and every one of you. Reach out to me directly at Scott@royallegalsolutions.com. I would love to hear your feedback about today's presentation. I always love connecting with real estate investors. We're always such great people trying to do great things with our lives for ourselves and our families. So reach out to me. I'd love to hear from you. And if you have an opportunity to text the Royal to 474747, you're going to get some great information there. And if you want to take that first step in getting the roadmap for your financial freedom and for your wealth building, and learn what the foundations you really need to put in place to really maximize what you can be doing, that's going to be the consultation. That's the royallegalsolutions.com/solo to sign up for that consultation. And if you're on the fence about it, just give us a call. to the 512-757-3994, this number that's right here in the middle of the screen, and talk to us about it. And, you know, if for any reason that anybody's not happy with anything we do, my policy has always been, you know, we're about building relationships, not just for now, but for forever. And money never stands in the way of me building a relationship with anybody. So I'm in the business of helping as many people as I can. We got a question here. Is will the webinar be available online via email to view again? Absolutely. We're going to make this available for you guys. If you want to go ahead and email me, I can make sure to connect with you about that the moment that it's available for you to be able to look at that. Thanks, JG, for pointing that out. That's all for me here today, guys. I look forward to connecting with you. Reach out to me, and let's stay in touch.